I'm ready.
Now listen, Zagreus. Admittedly, this is a little strange, even from me. I have a message for your bow. That's right. Just go on up to Coronach next time and tell it with a firm, commanding voice. I see you drawn in the arms of the seventh avatar. Let me know how it goes, okay?
I see you drawn in the arms of the seventh avatar. I can take it.
Son of Hades, how it is you came to find me in this space, and I have gone unseen by most for quite some time. I have wondered this as well, and think that our connection to Goddess Nyx is the most likely answer.
A river market. Just what I need.
All right, then let's go make that spend of hard-earned coin well worth your while. What do you think, cuz?
Chiron, unrelated to anything whatsoever, I just wanted to say I'm very grateful to have your support. You've always done your own thing. I never get to see you at the house, but I know you care an awful lot. So cheers. Thank you.
Hey, hon.
Hey, what's the matter, Your Royal Majesty? You're looking kind of down. Normally, you're all smiles for whatever reason.
Oh, well, looking back, all the stuff between you and Orpheus, I realized, well, I hope I wasn't too pushy about the whole thing. It wasn't any of my business to pry into your personal life. I should have asked.
Oh, that? Come on, don't even worry about it. If you were being too pushy, you better believe I would have put you back in your place, royalty or not. But hey, can't ever be too careful when it comes to people's past and feelings and stuff, right?
Bye now, ladies.
You arrived sooner than anticipated, cousin, and my estimations seldom are inaccurate. All for the best, of course. Perhaps you're simply faster than I thought.
You've got a ways to go yet, boss. Good news is the slowest part of this particular trip is hereby over now.
You were always such a stubborn fool.
You know, for such a loudmouth, obnoxious braggart, Theseus does seem to have formed a strong kinship with the Bull of Minos, hasn't he? Are they truly as inseparable as they seem? I feel bad for the bull.
Sometimes it's our differences that make us drawn to one another, no? And at other times, there's no accounting for taste. I often don't know which is which, and they can have each other, far as I'm concerned.
Heard you wrestled with some satyrs near the surface, Zag. Nice work making it that far, and I just want to let you know that they are definitely not my crew, man. Satyrs I know aren't like that at all.
You ask me now to aid you, is that so? I see no benefit to staying angry, cousin. I promised Nyx that I would help rather than hinder you.
Thank you, mate.
A shrewd expenditure of wealth is sometimes all that stands between a victory and sore defeat. Isn't that right, cousin?
Avert your eyes, fiend, lest the shining bronze work of the Macedonian should strike you blind. We are prepared to face your devilry.
Prepared for me, really? I've dismantled your ridiculous chariot before. Even Poseidon knows you're just a blowhard with a fancy ride.
How dare you to invoke my Lord Poseidon's name, and to besmirch our complicated past? No god shall ever favor you as he has favored both Asterius and me.
Hate to keep you from your parchment work.
I trust you have retained enough of your strength through this ordeal to make this worth our while. darkness wretches and destroy him now.
Not yet.
Darkness.
Don't do that.
Darkness. I see.
I can't. There.
No holding back.
Medusa, you there?
Invite more of your friends, why don't you, boy? Let's see you run from this.
Come on. I'm empty. I'm out. Let me go.
No swirling up this.
Can't do that. Not now. I'm stuck.
Boy.
Not yet. I can't. I'm empty.
Perish.
I'm out.
You'll burn.
Don't do that.
All you dead souls are mine.
Not yet. Again?
You wait right there.
Got me again, damn it.
Well, how often do you consult these lists you make? If you're spending too much time just making lists, you're not leaving time to get anything done.
Oh, I love making my lists. I always illustrate the edges. Each one is unique. That way, anyone who gets to review the work, it's a whole experience, you know? But I guess it does take up a lot of time.
You'll have to work around the constraints of your responsibilities. You do take breaks, don't you? Before and after each break, maybe that's a time to make sure your own list of priorities is up to date.
Wait, my own list of priorities? But you're saying I could just go and make a list for me? Huh. Oh. Whoa.
If that'll be all.
Hello, my friend. Your music playing has improved substantially. Perhaps in time you shall surpass my own abilities.
I highly doubt that, mate, though thanks for noticing. Creating music's quite rewarding once you get the hang of it.
It's almost everything to me, my friend.
Nix, I was just busy doing some administrative chamber record keeping recently, and wouldn't you know it, it somehow slipped my mind where I could find the sentencing parchment work for the Knave King Sisyphus, forced to toil out in Tartarus. I ran it by Megara.
He has offered you aid repeatedly. At first I saw it for a brazen act of bribery, but try as I might, there was no deeper underpinning to his actions that I could detect. That is to say, the records you seek may be found in section Sigma Phi Alpha, lower gamma folder.
Sigma Phi Alpha, lower gamma folder. Got it. Thanks. Greetings, Chef. Seems fair enough.
Hey, lad. I have to tell you something, lad. When Thanatos returned to seek you out, I was very concerned. Not just for you, either. But you've since patched things up.
I think so. I hope so. It was complicated for a while there, but I think things are clearer for us now. Not just in the moment, but in retrospect. I'm not making any sense.
Oh, on the contrary. I think I know exactly what you mean. I don't know Thanatos particularly well. Wasn't he who brought me here, you see. And he was always very busy, like your father. But he always struck me as a decent sort.
He is.
Oh, hi!
Dusa, it's a little much out there sometimes, I have to say. Different stresses than in here, but still.
Oh, don't you lose hope now, Prince Zagreus. There isn't anything you couldn't handle, I just know. You're every bit as tough as your father, except you're nice. And you never back down from anything. You can do this.
I don't know that anyone can do this. No escape from the underworld and all that. Though, thanks for cheering me up.
I'm not just saying it, I mean it, Prince. Look at how far you've come. Practically everybody in this house believes in you. Even the wretched broker and the head chef. Oh, I've asked them. Everybody thinks you're going to succeed.
They do, huh? I ought to check the old administrative chamber there. Should check that stack of contracts back there.
Amongst the parchment records of the dead and punished are the sealed documents known as the Knave King's sentence, forcing said king to endlessly toil with a boulder till the end of time.
I'll just patch this through to the house contractor then. Sure, why not? In the name of Hades, I hereby release Sisyphus from the terms of his pact.
Tell me something, Zagreus. Sometimes I fear... Do you hate him? I mean your father. Regardless of his intentions. It sounds as though he made your life extraordinarily difficult. All his pent-up fear and anger. You bore the brunt of it.
Do I hate him? Mother, I don't know that I hate anybody, really. The tales of him and the Olympians rending their immortal Titan parents to bits. I can't relate to how they must have felt. But I resented him for sure. And I don't know if I'll ever get over that entirely.
I understand. I think that when Hades told you he asked no forgiveness, he understood as well and meant it. Well, for all his failings, I'm thankful that he did not teach you how to hate. For your own sake, if not for his.
Sometimes I think he tried. Coronacht, I see you drawn in the arms of the seventh avatar. A hidden aspect. Rama, who are you? Grant me the aspect of Rama.
Ah, now that's a shiny bow you got right there. Cool, now that's what I call getting shot by arrows. Hey, not bad.
Speak not to me of failure. Failure is the greatest instructor of all. Your existence is a sequence of mistakes. Avoid making the same one twice.
I'll see what I can do. Lord Uncle Zeus.
We'll keep you safe here from your father, Zagreus. But while you're still inside that underworld, there's only so much we can do.
Ooh, good. Electric. Hit me. Let's see.
My daughter, the goddess Nyx. When I learned the Olympians mistakenly assumed she was your mother, I did not fully consider the possibility that she essentially was a mother to you. The technicality of birth aside, she cares for you to the extent a mother can.
Hapless wretches.
How's that?
My sisters, Hestia and Hera, surely would assist as well, young sprout. Except they and our foster brothers haven't been getting along of late. Though as for me, I'll never leave this mountaintop of mine.
desolation. Thank you, mate. Care on, mate. I know you meet an awful lot of dead, and it probably gets very difficult to remember them all, but I don't suppose the name Skelly means anything to you, does it? Ah, right. Didn't think so. Forget I asked. Kieran won't mind, will he? Oh, damn it! He just lost himself a customer.
What? Oh!
Maybe Nyx is with Chaos.
Thought I'd put in a house contractor order to keep that codex of yours sorted, lad. Now that you know so many on Olympus, figured it must be a lot keeping track of all their blessings and such.
Yes, that should definitely come in handy, sir. I'm still getting a handle on everything I can do with all the Olympians' powers fused with mine.
Keep at it.
Far be it from me to raise my hand against your father, dear nephew. Although I do suppose old Hades has it coming, doesn't he?
You stabbed me.
Hey, look at that. The message must have worked. Practically can see that shiny bow from here. I've never wielded Coronach myself, at least not yet. Though, if the Fates are sending visions to me of its past or future bearers, why, I guess I'm bound to get my shot eventually.
Caught me on a break again.
I have good news, sir. I located the contract binding you and bought it out. It's null and void. You're free to go.
Oh, indeed. Then does this mean, Prince, then the Fury Sisters, they won't come around as often anymore?
Not just that, Sisyphus. You can make your way someplace else where other decent shades reside. You know, somewhere with fewer chains and torture devices and such.
You're much too kind to this old soul, Prince Zed. The thing is, this is home. For me and Boldy, it is what it is. Though, knowing that the Furies won't be visiting with quite their former regularity, that is a load off. Heavier than Boldy there.
You mean you're really going to stay? Even though you don't have to?
Is that so odd, Highness? Don't see myself lugging old Boldy out of here besides. And if I were to leave, why, we would not be having these exchanges now and then. I happen to enjoy them quite a bit. Now, here you go, and thank you very much. Good idea.
Cheers, mate. Thank you for keeping my friend company. Good.
Do tell the Furies I said hi.
Hope I didn't keep you waiting, ladies.
Ready, sisters. How many times is it going to take, Red Blood? How many? Tell me, how can you stand running into me like this over and over?
Well, habits can be hard to break. As for how many times, I've really no idea. Though I guess there's one way to find out.
I'll give you one thing. I like it when my prey bites back. Come on, let's see some blood again.
Time to collect.
My dearest little godling, how fares everything with you of late? I love to have these little interactions with you, simple as they are, for they have brightened many of my evenings here.
Sometimes I think about the goddess Nyx and how I long for her to be the mother that I never had, cousin. Is it improper that I say such things to you? One would expect I would already have somebody on Olympus, yet it often feels as though I am the mother here.
Ready yourself, Asterius, my friend, for our most hated enemy has come to challenge us again before this loving crowd.
I don't understand this place at all. How is it you're still champion after all this time? After losing repeatedly and often, I mean.
What would you know of it? There's more, much more to being a champion than empty victories. It is a way of thought, a bearing, a certain dignity which you shall never have.
Come forth, Skelly. What I miss?
Get out of here, you skeleton!
We're here, Coronacht. May you serve Rama well, if you haven't already done so, I guess.
The bow is the weapon of a coward, boy. I said so even to Hera's face. I'm unsurprised that you are drawn to it, and yet something has changed about it. I can tell.
What, you mean that Coronacht has taken on the aspect of a divine preserver person of some sort, of whom I've seen mere glimpses, but seems definitely very capable and really rather brave?
I know not why the old infernal arms endear themselves to you, and I entirely care not in whose weakling aspect you bring them forth, only to fall to me.
As he explores the wonders of the world, Prince Zagreus discovers a quaint farm in which he carelessly trespasses, stepping on a farming tool which swoops up and strikes him in the forehead, fatally.
Huh? I did it, I think.
I'm pleased to know my new, more flexible arrangement remains to your satisfaction still, my lord. I must admit I feared that my departure would result once more in a protracted stay within the pits of Tartarus.
Don't give me such ideas, Orpheus. Instead, you go about your business there and play your blasted songs when circumstances call for it.
I shall be happy to oblige, my lord. Eurydice and I are grateful for your magnanimity.
Good thing that's settled then. Nix, meant to ask. Charon was there to take Mother and me home the one time. So has he been working for you? All part of some elaborate plan or something?
Charon serves only this realm, child. And he is very trustworthy. I suppose that it is also possible he has some affection for the Queen, if not for you.
Elaborate plan then. Got it.
Come here, Zag. Well, Zag, you like things nice and complicated, don't you? Apparently, so do I.
If you're asking if I have any regrets about what happened between us, the answer is no. Being with you, any complications there are worth it.
You don't need to tell me. 2 rules if you want to keep this up. First, we set the personal aside when we're out there. I better not hear a soul say I'm going soft on you. And second, keep up this slightly more mature thing you've had going for you recently.
Wasn't planning on sliding back into the insensitive nonsense of youth, so I don't think the second thing will be a problem. But the first, can we really just keep kidding each other out there like nothing happened?
Huh. Guess you'll find out.
Some water-dwelling beast for you, good chef. Why, thank you. The fallen warrior in Elysium we spoke of. He seems like a good man, though. Was he always the despondent sort?
No, lad. I was that sort, I think, but he was not. He was one of the only men I knew who did not look upon me as a threat. He saw something in me I never knew was there, and in turn, with him, I felt... how to describe it? Calm. Whole.
Huh. I'm restless all the time. I can only imagine.
He had this wry humor about him, like he was wise beyond his years. A quality I trust shall see him through his struggles now. Although, I hoped residing at Elysium would mean he wouldn't have to struggle any longer.
He shouldn't, sir. And neither should you.
Oh, hi! Hey, Prince, is it really true about Miss Meg and you? I mean, that you're, because if so, then I want you to know. I'm just so happy for the two of you. That's wonderful, you two. I'm so glad.
Thank you, Dusa. I know you and Miss Meg are close, so I am grateful that we have your blessings. Though we're kind of not out in the open with it necessarily, so if you please, just keep it quiet for us, would you?
Oh, you better believe it. I will tell nobody whatsoever. No. I'll just be very, very happy to myself. All right then. Bye.
Bye. It was only a matter of time, I suppose. I guess Sisyphus is even freer than before. Celestial Sharonga, it was my honor.
Hey Zagreus, that nectar you sent? Callisto and the nymphs and we popped it open recently, and it was really good. Had us positively frolicking about, so thanks.
All right.
Here is my favorite among those immortals dwelling underneath the earth. How may I change your life today, O son of Hades?
That's something.
Good tidings, nephew. I've learned that you have managed to get all the way to Asphodel. Fine work. Now you just keep on going.
Don't let it go to your head.
The heat of your surroundings must be difficult to bear, my little sprout.
I spent so much of my short life alone, but now, what is this lingering and meaningless experience where for eternity, all I've to think on is a few bright glimpses that I've spent with him, not by myself?
But anyway, he's just as obstinate as ever, isn't he? Always refused to budge. He ever tell you of the war in which we fought? I fought, I should say. He could have ended it, but he refused to take up arms.
Achilles hasn't been particularly forthcoming about his mortal days, no. So he wouldn't fight. I've heard that mortals sometimes frown on that, but why should he have fought if he didn't believe in the cause?
He shared our cause. So what if it was not completely his? If not for his stubbornness, I would have come here just a bit later, I think.
He blames himself for what happened to you, you know. I figured he failed to defend you or something, not that he didn't fight at all. Although he said something about how, once you died, he shortly followed in a rage.
I wouldn't know a thing about that, stranger, for you see, I was already dead. Getting my place here in the afterlife all sorted out. Took quite some time, getting accustomed to all this.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
Come forth, blackguard, and you shall soon be crushed under the massive wheels of the finest chariot the world has ever known.
You only have that chariot because of me, you know. It's all because of a condition of the Pact of Punishment. Nothing you did or earned, so drop the act.
What? You claim to be my benefactor, when in truth, you are my figuratively mortal enemy? I'll do the chariot equivalent of trample you.
The satyrs must be fashioning this.
So now you found me out, haven't you, cuz? Heard from the big boatman himself? Well, good. We're pleased to be of service, and we've got a lot of dirt on you. So you be sure to keep our secrets too, all right?
Having gained the surface once again, Prince Zagreus breathes deeply of the wildflowers and the roses and the like, among which one of them contains an allergen so intolerably potent that it causes this.
Why, you...
I'm counting that one as a victory.
Huh?
Nyx, sometimes I get the impression the Olympians look down on those of us born of the underworld. Is that my imagination, or what do you make of it?
The gods of Mount Olympus tend to think themselves above us, child. Or so your father often likes to say. He alone was relegated to this realm, and grew resentful of his relatives on high.
I can't imagine him otherwise.
You miss me, Zagreus?
You and Thanatos don't work together much anymore, do you, Meg?
No, though he still brings me my assignments every now and then.
Oathbreakers, traitors, and the like. Sending them straight to Tartarus, huh? Must be quite an experience going from living and breathing to being dead to being whisked off by Thanatos straight to you and your whip.
If that's not the experience mortals are looking for, they need only keep their oaths and not betray the ones they're closest to. It's not that hard.
You'd think. No sign of do so. Here, you can have these, Chef. Pleasure doing business.
Please excuse your father and me for the moment, Zagreus.
Scratch one off the fated list. The Mirror of Night. It's made me strong.
Right on schedule.
Skelly, did you tell Charon and Hermes about our little conversation from before? About your sources? Because I didn't tell them, but they seemed to know.
Boy, yo, thought we agreed we weren't gonna be having conversations on this subject from here on. Spares me having to spill my guts with my sources later.
I didn't get you into too much trouble, did I?
If you did, pal, I would not be here right now.
Ready as I'll ever be.
I'd love to know about your life down there. I'll try and help you live through it this time, so that way you can tell me.
I trust that Thanatos is doing well, although he brings to mortals merciful release. Whilst I most certainly do no such thing, I do appreciate his take on it. Hanging out with Ares, are you, Zag? He's quite the chap. I'll give him that, I'll give him that. And now, I'll give you this.
Finally. When I heard you were coming through, Red Blood, I told my sisters I would see you here.
I'll take it.
Oh, great, it's you, Zagreus. Here, let me offer you some fine new boons, as well as Lord Dionysus here, who I'm sure would love to talk your ear off just...
Yeah, tells me I'm being awful loud and to back off, all sorts of nasty stuff like that. What can you do, though, right?
So, my chariot and I stand ready for you, demon. And I assume Asterius as well. I feel it in my phantom heart. We shall not fall to you this time.
You know, my opinion of the Macedonian Tau Lambda has fallen precipitously of late. Though perhaps it's not the chariot, but the driver.
Silence! Show me a finer chariot driver anywhere within Elysium. Why, you cannot! I'll run you down for such an insult to my pride!
How am I going to beat him? I know that it's a painful subject, sir, but can you tell me what exactly happened in the war that claimed Patroclus and yourself? He brought it up, said you refused to fight.
Until he died. I did refuse to fight until he died. But at that point... Look, lad, if we're going to discuss these matters, best we do so in the lounge, not here. The fool of a king I served. I'd never take up arms for him. But Patroclus, he always had a different way of looking at things. As I refused to fight, he rose to the occasion, took up my armor, led my brothers into battle in my guise, fought nobly. But then he, well...
And after you found out, you sought vengeance for him, took vengeance.
That I did. They got me finally, of course. But not before I broke them first. The war soon ended after that. It is an awful contradiction that to quickly end war, one need only extinguish many lives at once. I had not realized it at the time.
Did you allow yourself to die so that you could see Patroclus again here?
I don't know. Maybe. I only know that I was filled with rage. Rage that subsided soon after I arrived here. I felt empty. I never saw Patroclus again. But I learned my brothers honored my last request, as my ashes were laid to rest with his. Anyway, appreciate the drink. Suppose I'd best be getting back to standing quietly about. Though that war, lad, don't ask me about it again. All right?
Of course.
Hey.
You and May go back a long way, don't you? I forget sometimes you two are pretty close.
Our responsibilities must have us cross paths often, yes. But I didn't really get to know her until after the whole humiliating affair with Sisyphus.
Oh, right. You got stuck in Tartarus after that, under Meg's personal supervision. So you bonded over your shared disdain for Sisyphus.
We each had to blow off some steam, yes. That was some of the hardest I ever worked back then, and her too, I think. When you go through something like that with someone, it brings you closer, I suppose.
I know what you mean.
Ah, you have fulfilled already many prophecies envisioned by my daughter's child. Although perhaps inevitable, I find it impressive nonetheless.
Thank you, Nyx. Though they're just minor prophecies, right? The kind that won't necessarily come to pass unless spelled out and coupled with a decent reward to make it worth my while. Not even the Fates are above greasing the wheels of progress, then.
The Fates have perfect knowledge of exactly what is necessary for the future they have woven to someday come to pass. We each are instrumental to their ultimate design. Some more than others, it would seem, of course.
Some more than others, yes.
So how has it been between you and your father lately, Zagreus? I know the two of you have lots of work ahead of you. Especially him.
Well, it's been all right, I guess. I think he's set in some of his ways. But at least we have some sort of understanding now, even if he acts like everything is still the same when I'm out there on the job.
He says it's so you put forth your fullest effort every time. All this is a big adjustment for him as well. Not that it's any excuse for how he's treated you. Are you all right seeing us together?
Yes, I'm glad for you.
The prison sphere in the corner is maybe a little much. But the fireplace, the bat cage, the aquarium. His lounge is practically comfortable. Lord Hades would strongly disapprove.
Good thing he never sets foot in here then, huh? Wait, you don't miss when things were all sad and dreary in here, do you?
I'm still getting used to it. But no.
Good.
Oh, hi! Hey, Zagreus? I wanted to say, that was very sweet of you, letting me hang on to all that ambrosia you gave me before. It's in safekeeping now. Except one bottle. That kind of slipped and broke. Though that did mean I got to try the stuff.
Oh, you got to try it after all. What did you think? All it's cracked up to be?
It was amazing. I've never had anything like it. It's so good to have a forked tongue. Meant I could taste it twice at the same time. So, if one of the other bottles slipped and broke, you wouldn't mind, would you?
I wouldn't mind at all. contractor, work approved. Oh, I think Thanatos would love this one. Or totally ignore it.
What is this, Zag?
Let's do it. A hideous rendition of a grizzled skeleton seems suitable to core. Work approved. This thought-provoking piece seems like a decent conversation starter for the whole. I paid for it, I can mess with it.
The frightful countenance of a bleached, bloodless warrior decorates the hall forevermore, eternally in tribute to the savage servants of the house's lord.
I could take him. Prophecy fulfilled. Exegriff, you and I have been through a lot.